Gatebreaker RC, and today we're going to be going over kind of a universal goggle mod for the True-D. So, as you can see, I have my head plates, which don't have a module bay, and I have this box, which is kind of like a really big module bay. So, I could make it smaller, but it's just easier. So, I have this whole web of wires in here. Let me just plug that in. I have a whole web of wires in here, but it's actually pretty simple when you get down to the actual like brass tacks of it. So we'll start by showing kind of how the True-D connects into this whole system. So here's the True-D and here's the cable. So these are little pin connectors from Amazon that I bought for my Raspberry Pi. I don't really know what they're called, but they're just these little connectors. So you have your first pin here, if you can see that. Wait for it to focus. So your first pin here, which is a red wire. So on the first pin here, you would connect 5 volts and then you connect your ground, and then you'd have your yellow, which would go to your video. So on these goggles, I had a 5-volt ground and a video from the DVR wire, which is on the back of these. These are the head blasts. So some goggles may require opening and you would kind of have to find a pin, or you could use like one of those boost converters and just kind of either boost or lower the voltage from your battery, and then you'd get a 5-volt signal. And then you could also just plug the video into like a video input or use RCA here. So if you were to use just like a video in pin on your goggles or something, you just connect into this yellow wire directly to that video in. And if you were to use like an RCA connection, such as on like other goggles, or if you wanted to make kind of like a DIY ground station, you would connect the video wire into one of these RCA cables, and then these have a little metal shielding on them, which would also connect into this black wire. So that's pretty much how it works generally. And then as you can see, when I plug it in, it boots up perfectly. All the menus work, and we have, if I can get this just set properly, we should have video in a second. I'm just on the wrong channel right now, so just reorganize this a little bit. Just get it all fixed up. So yeah, so that's pretty much all you have to do. And then if you were to connect to DVR, such as this Ishin Pro DVR, which is right here, a little yellow thing, which is a pretty decent DVR for the price it comes at. So for that, you would have this video in wire, which comes from here. So on here, there's actually little pinouts here. So it tells you all the stuff. So you just use, you can't really see it right now, but there's a video in here, which would connect into this yellow. And then you'd have your ground, which would be common ground black. And then you have a 5-volt down here and another ground. So pretty much what you would do is to go 5-volt ground, and then just video in would go into this yellow cable here. So just to recap, pretty much how you do it is you take 5-volt in pin 1, ground into the 3rd pin from the bottom. Let me just try to refocus this. Let's just get the camera focused up. There we go. So ground into this black one, which is pin 3. And then pin number 6 from the bottom, or number 4 from the top, would be this yellow one. So that's my kind of DIY mod. And then I've gone a little bit crazy with it with RCA connections. So I can plug into a ground station. And that's all kind of like just a little bit of a like thing. After you kind of get it, you kind of get it after a while. So yeah, so if you guys have any questions or want to do this mod on like specific goggles and you're kind of like stuck on stuff, so just post a comment in the description below and I can do my best to help you out. So yeah, so this is my kind of DIY goggle mod. And then from Furious FPV, we have this Stock King. So this is a little bit of an earlier prototype, so it's not as finished, but it's going to have a really nice like clean injection molded body. So this is the stock True-D module, exactly identical to this one, with an OSD, DVR, HDMI connection. It has bail connector. It runs from around about 2S to 6S, and then it has two outputs here, which you could either connect using a Fat Shark cable or just a 3.5 millimeter to video out cable. And then you have your power switch here, and yeah, and then you have a tripod screw also. So this is a little bit more compact and easier to like have, a little bit more finished than this kind of DIY mod. But they kind of both have their strong suits. Like this is a little bit more like universal, and if you wanted to go smaller with it, you really could just like eliminate the whole box system and go smaller. But this just has like that finished, like open the box and you're ready to go kind of setup. So yeah. So that's this video, and thanks guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and have a nice day.